please hit that subscribe button. Hey everybody, better suited to win the Stanley Cup this season. If you are new to the channel, Washington Capitals, the Boston Bruins.
Locked on and he scored! And we're live. Hey everybody, so NHL Remember Him is usually an off-season series that I do once a week during the off-season just to, keep putting content out and looking back on the careers of interesting players that are often kind of forgotten about, not the superstar players that everybody remembers, but the good players who were pretty solid in their day but are just kind of overlooked and forgotten. But now with the season suspended and no hockey games going on, it basically is like the off season. So I'm going to be doing a bunch of these NHL Remember Him episodes over the next few weeks. And to bring it back, this first episode, or before I get into it, I just do quickly want to ask that you subscribe and hit that like button, as both of those things really, really do help out the channel a lot. First episode back, I believe this is episode 24 in total for this series. I'm going to be talking about defenseman Eric Brewer. Eric Brewer was a defensive defenseman, played a long time in the NHL through started in the late 90s through the 2000s and into the 2010s. Was a really solid defensive defenseman, could be pretty tough in his day as well. Just a solid, middle of the road, never really that elite top end guy, never much offensively from him, but a solid middle of the lineup type defenseman. So Eric Brewer played 1,009 career NHL games, scoring 77 goals and 194 assists for 271 career points. That was in the regular season. On top of that, he played 34 career playoff games, scoring 3 goals and 14 assists in the playoffs for 17 points. Brewer was originally drafted in 1997 by the New York Islanders in the first round, 5th overall. So a very high draft pick. And, never really panned out, I don't think, to be worthy of being a top 5 draft pick, but did have a solid, long NHL career as a defenseman. He came into the league with the Islanders, the team that drafted him in 1998, and played a couple seasons in New York before moving on to the Edmonton Oilers. He played from 2000 to 2004 with the Edmonton Oilers and was a pretty good, solid defenseman for them. Then the NHL lockout happened, and when we came back in 2005-2006 from the NHL lockout, Eric Brewer was a member of the St. Louis Blues, and he played for the Blues for a long time, from 2005 until 2011, in which that season he was traded from the Blues, who were not very good back then at the time, to the Tampa Bay Lightning. Played a number of years for the Tampa Bay Lightning as well, from 2011 until 2015, and then finished out his career bouncing between the Anaheim Ducks and Toronto Maple Leafs in his final NHL season, but did not play a whole lot of games after leaving Tampa Bay. And then he was done. That was it for Eric Brewer at the NHL level. He has since obviously retired and is no longer a player. But long career, came into the league in 1998, played all the way up through the 2015 season. So really good long career for Eric Brewer. Again, as a defensive defenseman, never a huge star, never a high-end, top pair type guy, but a very good defensive player, very good middle-of-your-lineup type defenseman. And obviously a good player, as he played over 1,000 games, played for a number of different teams, and had some long stints in St. Louis and Tampa Bay. So he was a quality defenseman, decent player to watch, and a guy who I feel like is one of those guys that, when you remember the name, and when you think back, you go, oh yeah, Eric Brewer, I remember him. He played for, the Blues, he played for the Lightning, but not that high-end star player that is everybody just thinks of right away when they think about NHL defensemen. But solid long career and a fun guy to watch, and a good player back throughout the 2000s and into the 2010s. So that does it for this episode, guys. Eric Brewer, longtime NHL defenseman. And with that, like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.